Go ahead and get started. I tell you what, we've got some technical difficulties going on. John Kisarmoi he's a preacher in Kenya, and the church here supports the work over there. John had recorded his lessons on 1st, 2nd, 3rd John, which we're going to show that. We're able to show that. He sent that to us just in case we had technical difficulties. But what we're going to try to do after we show his video or his lessons, we're going to possibly be able to get him on the screen live. He won't be able to hear us, but we will be able to hear him. And so he's going to kind of give us a update on the work that he's doing there and so forth. So we'll do the best we can with that. And I guess it's one of those trial and error type things. But we do have his lessons recorded. Denver Tate. We had his name tag the other day. It was Denver 8, right? Denver 8. Denver Tate is going to lead us in a song, and then we'll leave it up to Ethan in the back there to get John on the screen, and we'll go from there.
Let's sing. The tune just went out of my head. Give me a moment. Okay, there we go. What a friend we have in Jesus.
This afternoon in our Bible class in the lectureship. I know it has been a long awaiting moment, and also since Sunday up to today, Wednesday. I know Bible classes have been going on, the lectureship has been going on. And I wish to introduce myself for the sake of those who are new to this place, for the sake of those who are new to me. I'm John Saringe, a preacher at the Mokea congregation, also a teacher, and also a student of the Bible. I'm also a husband and a father. A husband of a beautiful wife, Naomi, and also a father to Curtis and Hillary. I wish to welcome everyone from you. We sing together in the 3 Epistles. and everything after the cross look back to the cross and to the return, hopefully, of the faith that we have. Christ is the centerpiece of all sinners before and after the cross. The first letter. Christ is the word of life. How? In the first episode of John, the author addressed his audience that Christ is light. God is light. God is love. And God is light. And without him, of this, nothing will go on. God is light. If God is light, how can you and I perhaps God is light? How can we comprehend that? Those who have true fellowship in him must possess his quality of life, that is, having an everlasting life with a promise, with a reward in heaven. Spiritual life begins with a spiritual birth which will occur through faith in Jesus Christ. Remember, when you go back to how do we gain this spiritual birth is when we get salvation. And that faith is in Jesus infuses us with God, life, eternal life. In the very first verse of verse John, we read, as the word of life, that is, with the life of every individual, God has given us an opportunity of life with a great word. We have the testimony that God has given us life, and this life is in his Son. Another proof that Jesus Christ is the word of life, according to 1 John 5, chapter 5, verse 11. And in 1 John, he who has the Son has life. What happens if you do not have the Son? Verse 12b, you have no life. The testimony is that if we have the Son, who is his word, John, that is the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1, we have eternal life. And confidence comes in that if we ask anything accordingly to his will, we will hear, and he will probably hear us. The main purpose of that brought Christ to this world is to give us understanding that we may know him. Who is that him? We may know Christ, the true word of God. That is according to the Gospel of John, chapter 17, verse 17. Be in him who is true, sanctified in him who is the true God, and be in Jesus Christ the true God and eternal life. Read for yourself the first letter of John, chapter 2, verse 2, chapter 4, verse 9, but also chapter 3, verse 16. I'm going again to get a continuation on the second letter. The second letter of John, Christ is the target of the Antichrist. What is this called Antichrist? The divination of the word. Antichrist, either one who put himself in the place of God or Messiah, or can be an enemy, an opponent of the Messiah, those who oppose to the truth. This term we first found in 1 John chapter 2, verse 19, but also in chapter 4, verse 1 of the same letter. they are, these are questions that we need to ask ourselves. Where are they coming from? We see in verse 19 that they went out from us. This means they have been within us. They are in the church. They are in the Christian community. So they are just within us. Paul warned the Ephesian elders about this matter according to the Acts of Apostles, chapter 20, verse 28 to 30. After the departure of Paul, after his departure, it can be after your departure, it can be after my departure, that false teachers will arise. It was not only during the time of Paul, but also in our time. This is an indication that they are not far from us. They are dwelling with us. They are among the church members. They are among the community who are right now in this podium. In verse 30, among yourselves, what are they doing? They will draw themselves disciples. They will draw themselves followers who will follow their doctrine. Remember, this says their doctrine, not our doctrine, not Christ's doctrine, but false doctrine. Verse 8 of the same letter, that is the second letter, false teachers cannot just emerge from anywhere. There must be something true that will be gone against. Therefore, it was Christ who came first to preach the truth according to John, that is the Gospel of John, chapter 17, verse 17, that will sanctify us with the true word, that is with his true word. John is warning the elect lady and others to look themselves. Why? So that we do not lose those things we work for. We do not lose the faith. We do not lose the character that is portrayed by Christ. That when Paul says, imitate me as I imitate Christ, let us imitate the good picture that is portrayed in the true faithful Christians. This seems to be the target of the Antichrist, to deceive Christians, to draw for themselves disciples. Those who are going against wish to draw those for themselves, to say things contrary to the teaching of Christ. Another target is that we may not get the reward. Christ and his apostles came with a doctrine, the true doctrine, the true word of God. Now here comes the deceiver, an antichrist targeting to bring something that is just like the true doctrine, but not the true doctrine. So we need, in that moment, we need to reason. We need to come back to our senses and remember what the Bereans did. They went and searched for the scriptures. According to verse 11, John warned the elect lady and her children who have been holding the truth, that if anyone comes to you and does not bring this doctrine, which doctrine? The doctrine of Christ, the right doctrine. What will you do? What doctrine? The doctrine of Christ. Do not receive him into your house or greet him. Why? If you do this, you have shared his evil deeds. That is according to verse 11 of the same letter. That is the third. We are going to the third letter. That letter, Jesus Christ, the personification of truth. Christ has and always is the true picture of the New Testament. In the third letter, the elder wrote to the Christians to distinguish the character and the believers of Christ. The elder is writing to pray for prosperity, to guide us in all things, both spiritual and physical, as the soul of every Christian must be. And as a preacher, the joy is to see Christians walking in truth. Remember, this is one of the characters that we read in this letter, the third letter. Guys, there has been a good testimony. Indeed, Apostle John recommends Gaius for generosity and loving spirit. Why? He has a good reputation. He has a good picture of what the Christian should do. How many of us are like Gaius? In verse 5, beloved, you do faithfully whatever you do for the strangers. Do also, not only to those believers, to those who are in the church, but also do to those who are strangers. That is the only way you bring them to Christ. Let us do what is good manner before God. The character of the Orthodox, the one who boasts of himself and does not receive Christians. The Christians are warned that the elder is writing to the opponents of truth. Christ is warning us too. As the Apostle John is writing to warn the Orthodox, the one who boasts of himself with a lot of premise, with a lot. A person who wishes to be the front, if not me, no one else. So he's warning us as Christians, let us not boast of the opportunity, the chance, the privilege that we get, but let us utilize it for God's glory. Diotrephe is a true personality of those opposing the truth and preaching fables and speaking malice against Apostle John, as many does today to those who preach the sound doctrine. We have a lot of dino teaching, false doctrine, cutting across the whole world, cutting across Africa, cutting across Asia, cutting across Europe, and even cutting across the States, the United States. So we are warned that take care. Those in the back days, they will come, wolves who are very hungry, wishing to swallow anyone. Diotrephe is an opponent, or to other words, is an antichrist, as the scripture does well when they say an antichrist is an opposer, is a person who opposes the truth. Do we have such believers here in the lectureship? Do we have such believers here in the congregation? That is a question of the day. That is a question you should ask yourself, I should ask myself, and everyone must examine himself. Am I in that kind of life? Demetrius is one of the characters who have a good reputation of both John and the saints. This is a bad character. Remember, we had Gaius, we had Diotrephe, but today, right now, we have Demetrius, a man who has a good reputation. He is a good character, not only to John, but to the saints, to the believers. When and how will you be in that type of a person who has a good reputation for others, that wish that everyone, if a clip of his life is being played, how many will appreciate, how many will give God glory because of what you are doing? He is a true figure of the Christians today who preaches sound doctrine in the Lord's church. They should have good reputation with both brethren and strangers. John the Apostle encouraged his audience, alike to us, likewise to us today, that we should not imitate what is evil, but rather do what is good. Verse 11,
of the third letter. It is my pleasure to be part of the lectureship. God bless you. Be blessed.
Now the second part of this, and I hope it works, we're going to have John, okay, if we're going to be good, we're going to have John come up live. He will not be able to hear us, but we'll be able to hear him. And we had given him some questions. I think Bill had given him some questions prior to all this. And the way we had it planned was that I was going to ask the questions, he was going to answer it, but thinking ahead, in case something like this happens, he already has the questions, and he'll be able to read those questions and answer those questions, hopefully here live. We'll see here in just 1 minute. We had a speaker that could not make it to the lectureship, and it just so happens on that same day we were talking about John and his work over there in Kenya, and I think Bill may have said, well, wonder how we could get him on the lectureship, if we could do a live stream. I think he talked to Mike, and this is how it come about. So, well, that'd be a great opportunity, I mean, to do something like this. But of course, it's not working out the way we planned it. It never does. It's technology.
You gotta realize how remote it is to the roosters.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard the roosters crowing. Yeah. I thought I heard a bus go by at one time, or a car or something go by. It sounded like it.
He was saying because of the rains, he's having an internet issue.
Mm.
He left the house to go somewhere because it was more secure.
So that mean we're good, or does that mean?
That means
Okay. Yeah.
He doesn't have enough internet. He said it's not going through.
Okay.
So, still pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's neat to see something like this. I think it's like Bill says, it's awesome to see something like this, because we know what we're doing here, but it's to be able to put a face with the work and what they're doing over there.
Hello.
Is he going to be on the screen?
Can he see Jeff?
Hello.
Okay, so I can do it now? Can you see that? Wait, hey. Which camera?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. No, he can't hear us. Yeah. What'd he say? Tap dance? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what he's going to do. He's trying to call now. Yeah. I love technology. Yeah. I was just about to ask if Mike knew more about the work over there.
It's about 9:30, if not, over there.
Mm.
And he went to the Andrew Connolly School of Preaching Extension in Arusha. And he graduated in 2018. He started 2 churches, 2 congregations. The one he's at now is 19 miles into the bush. This is in the high arid country of Kenya. There was a big rift there that
Good.
starting 2 new preachers.
Oh, good.
He can't get video because of his internet
Mm-hmm.
limitations, but he's gonna call back and just go through your questions.
All right, do I need to still stand here and do a thumbs up? No? He won't see me? Okay. So I need to, can I sit down now or do I need to stand here? It's kind of like a flip of a coin, yeah. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Okay, I'm so thankful that I've been part of the lectureship. And I really appreciate the members of the congregation and also the lectureship brethren. Right now, I have some queries that I wish to answer based on the interview that I got to answer them. About my family, I am a father of 2 children and a beautiful wife, Naomi, with 2 boys, that is Hilary, Leanne, and Cuties Kato. Again, I'm hoping with the prayers of everyone, God may give us his, in any moment, we shall have that child. Also, in addition to the family, I have my father, I have my dad, my mom. Also, coming from an extended family, we have a bunch of very many members of the extended family who are living in one place, who are living in one homage. That is a group of more than 30 people. And being also one of the people who went to the school of preaching, but also went to school, all of them are looking on my back. Also about the experience, how long have I been preaching? I went to the school of preaching back in January of 2017. I pursued my bachelor's degree in biblical study in an extended school of Bear Valley School of Preaching, but it was a school in the nearby country in Tanzania. I had to sacrifice myself for 2 good years under a course of 58 courses. I had to not communicate at all for 2 years. I didn't know what was going on. And back in 2017, it was a bad moment because it was the time I lost my firstborn, my firstborn sister in our family. We lost her, but due to lack of communication, I never realized, I never got information until I come over here that I realized she passed on, because I was not able even to access to anything called a phone. But also about the training, it was a gorgeous, it was an awesome, it was the best moment that I interacted, brilliant lecturers, but also sound brothers and sound doctrine lecturers that has shaped me to the level that I am, and I really appreciate. I was even to continue again to the master's program, but due to the challenges, family challenges, financial challenges, but also having in mind the whole family is on my back, so it was a challenge again to go back over there. That's why, and I wanted just even actually to go back, but now this program was different because I had to pay for the upkeep when I'm there. So I was planning in the near future I should also enroll in the master's program, because I saw it was profitable not only to me but to the community here, having in mind we have few or even a single or 2 people who went to the school of preaching in the locality. Also, I attended the school of preaching ACSOP, that is Andrew Connell School of Preaching in Arusha, Tanzania. Remember, I said it is an extended school of Bear Valley School of Preaching, which is in Denver, Colorado. Also about the work here. In the work here, I had since I graduated back 2018, I came to a place where false doctrine, unsound doctrine, and denomination world is roaming around and has been working all over. So I had to try to shape on and try to teach the true doctrine out of a world which are commonly having to figure out a prosperity gospel and such fables kind of gospel. So it was not easy. It is still not easy, but we thank God, at least we are on a better shape. Again, having in mind in the same lane, being in Kenya a preacher, you will not definitely secure any other job, since a job here means either you be full-time for a period of 30 days, 31 days, or 29 days on a month on a regular basis, so that you may have a stipend. So if you miss a single day, you will not definitely be part of that payment. So if you are a preacher, you need to sacrifice yourself. If there is no means to cater for your family, it is hard. And this has been a big challenge. But I thank God through the congregation Stony Creek, through the elders, Mike and his fellow elders, and the whole congregants who are there in the podium. They have really helped us at least to a level where we are right now. We met, they get us to a greater step, because this is the same congregation that has helped us at least to feed for a half a year when we have been starving. So at least through your holding hand, through your help, at least we are in a better shape. In the congregation again, the congregation has been growing day by day. We have been extending to other places, trying to at least raise up other congregation. In the meantime, right now we have 40 members in the congregation, 45, but also with a good number of young children who are still in school. But in total, at least with the whole congregation, we are almost at 60, together with the children. So we thank God we are in a better shape. We have groomed other preachers. At least so far we have a good number of 5 preachers who are in several other locations working with us. And at least we thank God it has been a good step that we are going forward. Emulkea, remember, is the congregation that I preach, but also we have other congregations like Origiri congregation. We have Kumba, we have Oleleshwa. Those are other congregations that are new congregations that we are joining hands to ensure that though they are very young, remember majority of the people here, they are illiterate, they never went to school, they don't have jobs, but at least we are trying to teach them. And my prayer is, if I can get an opportunity of trying to get the early education program, so that at least they may know how to read, write, and also to read the Bible in their own language, or even also may get a communicable language. That is, they may be able to speak at least in English, to communicate. Okay. The congregations in Kenya, they are scattered. They are scattered in many parts. But majority, mainly in our county, that is in Kajiado, there are few. These are congregations that you can name one or two, and in other places in our country, you don't get them. For instance, in Kajiado, in our part, there are new congregations, they are young, but at least we thank God we are striving. So the work in Kenya is a promising, but need something better to be done. The gospel in Kenya has been ruled on for many years by false doctrine, by denominational who have been in years. Remember, when I was talking about my experience being a preacher, the Church of Christ is young in the southern part of Kenya. Remember, it's less than 10 years. So we need something to do better to ensure that at least we do a great work to secure many believers to Christ. Some of the challenges and the problems that we are facing in Kenya, number one, now that, as I said in the previous statement, a preacher, is a person who should be responsible for his family. But here, living in the south, in the countryside, it is hard to secure a job at the same time you are a full-time preacher. Because here in Kenya, we don't go per hours, we don't work on a weekly basis, but what they do, you work on a monthly basis. So if you go out of the countryside, for instance, if I get out of maybe southern Kenya, that is southern Kajiado, and going to Nairobi or any other cities, definitely the gospel will die in the place that I am, because there is no employment. If you don't have any sort of support, if you don't have at least a job, it's hard to get up to your family. So one of the challenges is there's a lot of poverty. There is these people, the Maasai community that I come from, these are people who totally depend on livestock. They are cattle, sheep, goats, period. No job. When a season like the previous season, which has been devastating, which has been a lot of famine and drought, you can get somebody having 100 cattle with no knowledge, with no skills. Definitely you get him, all of them finished, all of them dying. So that is one of the challenges that we are facing over here. That is one of the challenges that has helped us, through you people, to feed this community for a period of half a year in the previous drought and famine season. So that is one of the challenges. When I wrap up, my last answering is, what advice will I offer to the brethren in the northern part of the states, to the northern part of America, is let us hold the gospel, let us share it, let us at least try to spread and preach the gospel to other parts when we have an opportunity. Let us utilize it for God's glory. Let us ensure that if we get an opportunity of getting out of one city to another, because in this part of the third world countries, you can be even locked up by the rain. For instance, as I speak, we have been having some downpour of rain, which is a clear indication that there is possibility even for someone else not being able to walk, even to go using a motorbike or even a vehicle from one point to another. So when you have that opportunity, you have an advanced technology, utilize it for God's glory, because this part need a lot and a lot to be done. When your technology is good. Ensure that as a faithful Christian, ensure that you take that gospel to a better step than where you met. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
We sure appreciate the work that this congregation supports with John and also what John is doing over there as well. We're going to break to the top of the hour, and Brother Chris Caseboat will be the speaker at 2 o'clock. And let's not forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, Keith Ritchie will close the lectureship with, in the book of Revelation, he is the victorious crown. So at this time, you may be dismissed till the top of the